Savelle for your cheerleader of dreams. Hey, if you've never subscribed to this podcast, just push the little red button right there to get consistent teaching tools and tips to help you live your dreams. Today, I want to talk to you about you're wasting your money. Now, you might say, how? Well, it might be in a surprising area called clutter. Do you know that clutter is expensive? Most of us, including myself, have clutter in some areas of our lives. In fact, listen to this. 10%, less than 10% say their homes are clutter-free. But we don't realize how much clutter could be costing us. So I want to point out today, what could clutter be costing you? Well, for one thing, number one is late bills and fees. Do you know that 23% of Americans do not pay their bills on time and incur late fees because they can't find their bills? Number two is wasted food. Do you know that you could be wasting food that was overlooked in messy pantries or cluttered refrigerators that then it expires and it can't be used anymore? Another area, number three, is buying duplicate items. You know, maybe you can't find items because of clutter, and then you wind up buying duplicates, wasting money you don't need to spend on things like batteries, light bulbs, glue, scissors, things like that. I know I've done this. Number four is, again, with food, eating out too much. You know, if your kitchen counters are too messy to cook on, you might be eating out more than you should for your family budget. Another one, number five, is tax deductions missed. You know, if you're consistently misplacing receipts due to clutter, you could be missing out on some major tax deductions that could save you thousands of dollars. Number six is more gifts. You know, maybe you buy a gift for a family member, but then you can't remember where you put it, so you go out and buy another gift. Well, then when you finally locate it, it's too late to return it. Another one, number seven, is reduced price to sell your home. Do you know that clutter can prevent you from selling your home if you're ready to move? Your home will stay on the market much longer than you'd like it to because a cluttered home is an unappealing home. And then you might even settle on a lower price because, you know, you're ready to move and finally somebody makes an offer. Another area that clutter could be costing, especially with the house issue, is number eight, higher moving cost. See, clutter will cost you more to move. The more items you have to carry across town or to another state or country, it's going to require larger trucks and more movers to handle all of it. Well, my point is, the list goes on and on and on. But here's a big one. Number 9, you will have less time to pursue your dreams because of clutter. In fact, did you know that research proves that if you get rid of the clutter, you can eliminate as much as 40% of the housework in an average home? So it's worth it right there. You can free up 40% of your time allocated to housework so you can go after your dreams. Now imagine time available to study the foreign language that could cause your salary to double because now you're bilingual. Or imagine time to read books on personal growth that will cause you to be promoted because now you're more valuable to the company because you've learned so much. Or imagine time available to write your manuscript that can then be turned into a book and go out and change lives as well as provide additional income. Well, there's endless opportunities to be seized once you get your life in order. Now, one more I wanted to share real quick, and this is a huge one. Number 10 is storage fees. You know, statistics show that nearly 10% of American households rent storage units to house their excess belongings. So think about that. They're spending more than $1,000 annually to store their excess belongings, or in some cases it's clutter. Now imagine doing that for the next 10 years. That adds up to, over $10,000 wasted simply to keep your clutter that you're pretty much not even using, and in most cases you don't even miss it. $10,000? Well, most of the time, we don't even remember what we stored. Let me just ask, what if you use that money, instead of using it on a storage unit, on your family vacation, emergency savings account, or even a retirement investment that could compound? Just think about that. In fact, I asked a professional investor, Adam, I said, can you give me an example of investing $1,000 per year, instead of on a storage unit, over a 10-year period with a 12% return on investment? What would that add up to? He said, I just happen to have a client who's done that very thing. And he showed me a portfolio that grew to $17,558 just by investing $1,000 a year over a 10-year period. Think about that. You could potentially have over $17,000 if you would just part with some of your possessions. Now, I don't mean to imply that everything in your storage unit is junk, but only you can evaluate whether or not the stuff that you're storing is valuable enough to outweigh the cost of saving money or investing money. In fact, somebody once said that having excess clutter is like having this slow leak that can add up to hundreds or even thousands of dollars every year. Well, the good news is clutter is completely within your control, and you can cash in on your clutter. You can make a dent in your belongings and in your billfold. You know, the thing is, you have money laying around. You know, according to a survey recently that eBay did, the average household has more than 50 unused items worth around $3,100 in their homes. Now, let me just ask you, what could you do with an extra $3,000? You know, in the acting world, they say, what's my motivation? Here's the incentive. You can get some cold, hard cash for your trash. Think about the Italian Rosetta Stone that's never been opened, the digital photo frame that's never loaded with photos, the outdated iPod you never use, the Bowflex machine that's sitting in the garage, or the stationary bike that's remained stationary. You know, it's true that one man's trash may be another man's treasure. In fact, I read something about gift cards. You know, you may have gotten some gift cards on your birthday or holidays, and do you know that you can actually trade them in for some much needed money? According to sites like Gift Card Granny and places like that, you can sell them for up to 93.4% of the value of the gift card. Now listen to this. It's estimated that the gift card industry is around $124 billion at this time, with approximately, now brace yourself, $750 million in gift cards going unredeemed every year. That's shocking. So you could make money on books laying around your house, electronics, instruments. You know, maybe you have Aunt Myrtle's piano taking up this space in your foyer that nobody uses. Clothing, ink cartridges, jewelry, gold. You have stuff laying around that you could cash in on and make a big dent in a financial goal. In fact, I want to close out by giving you 3 things to do. Number 1, set a financial goal that you want to reach as you monetize your clutter. It could be $500, $1,000, or more. It could be to pay off a bill or go on a vacation. So get a number and write it down. That's number 1. Number 2, set a 30-day goal to get it out of your house. Now, in my book on Declutter Your Way to Success, I talk about how to monetize your clutter with online sites, garage sales, pawn shops, consignment shops, things like that. But I want you to keep the time frame short, or you're going to feel like your home has turned into this massive flea market rather than an oasis of peace. So sell everything as quick as you can and consider donating the rest. Number 3 is start with one room. Just start with one room at a time. Now, I want to challenge you with this because I believe it's time for you to profit from your possessions. I mean, why not gather together some of your stuff, assess what you have, and see how you can turn all that clutter into cash. So, I hope you enjoyed this today. Just a few quick tips, and I want to recognize our YouTube subscriber of the week is Justine. In French, it's Justine. This is what she says. Oh, Terri, thank you for your cheerful advice. She said, I have way too many belongings, all in a small guest house. She said, I have been going through and letting go of more and more every weekend. That's awesome. She said, but it's not a job that happens overnight. You are my cheerleader to purge, Terri. She said, your uplifting messages go further than you might think. For those of us with no other cheers, you make a real difference. That blesses my heart. Thank you so much, Justine. And I'm so proud of you for taking action and decluttering. Now, I want to help each and every one of you with not only getting your surroundings in order, but get your life in order. That's why I'm excited. This is our final week that we're going to be offering the first 2 chapters of my latest book, Declutter Your Way to Success, completely free. All you have to do is find the link in the description to download your copies of 2 complete chapters. Now, for more consistent motivation, be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. You can find the handles below, or click that little red subscribe button for weekly videos to make this your best year yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.